when you're in the chaos, you can't see clearly. And it becomes more like an ego thing and a fighting thing as to, I'm going to show you I can. I'm going to show you I can do this. Or I am right. But I thought we were in this for the long haul. What do you mean you don't want this? What do you mean you're stepping out of it?
Till death do us part.
Right? What about emotional abuse?
It's huge.
And you dismiss it.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't lend a hand on me. It's okay. This is okay. Everyone goes through this.
Yeah. It was interesting as the stuff was coming out of my mouth, because I'd never actually spoke the words. I was like, that's fucked up.
I'm not the person I want to be. I can't anymore.
Yeah.
And it was so detrimental to myself that I was ready to go into a shelter with my boys.
Welcome, everybody. Today I have Matina Singh. She is a divorce coach, amongst many other things, and I'm excited to bring you this conversation for selfish reasons as well. Going through my own divorce, I know it's very difficult, but for those of you who are currently navigating these sometimes rough waters, I'm hoping today will bring you a little bit of peace and insights and tools and knowledge. So Matina, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure.
It's so good to do this in person. We talked about always doing it on Zoom. Sometimes it kind of takes away from the conversation. So thank you for making the trip.
Absolutely. Energy is everything. This is
This
only going to add to the conversation.
I agree, totally. So for those of the viewers who don't know you, or maybe didn't even know there was a divorce coach, tell me a little bit about you and how you got into this business.
Oh my gosh. Through my own divorce. Irony.
Yeah.
But there's so much out there nowadays. And I find even in divorce coaching, there's so much focus on coaches who are really focused on while you're going through it. For me, the personal thing which really I find is the changer is when you dive into yourself. So I find myself being more in the recovery part of it and helping you navigate your own emotions, navigate what you're going through, what are the thought processes in your own head that are making you lead and actually leading you to the decisions you're making. So for me, when I went through it, I know I was in it. And when you're in the chaos, you can't see clearly. And it becomes more like an ego thing and a fighting thing as to, I'm going to show you I can. I'm going to show you I can do this. Or I am right. Well, it's at the end of the day, it's not really about it. You both came to a conclusion. It had to end. Now what?
Well, or one of you did. One of you decided.
So true. My case too. One of
yes.
The other
and I'm sure
too.
it's a very it's obviously a very different experience if you are on the side of the person deciding you want out of the marriage versus the other person deciding. So what are some of those, there's obviously the obvious ones, but what are some of those differences and how do you see that affecting people differently? What do you see coming out of that?
I find the person who have decided is just 1 or 2 steps ahead of that awareness as the other person. The other person have recognized some things are not working, but it's okay. They've okayed what's not working.
Yeah.
They've okayed, okay, this is the norm now. It's harder for me to find another person, so I'm just going to suck it up and make this my life.
Yeah.
But when you have one person who is no, I'm choosing not to live like this.
Yeah.
And the other was, hold on. Now you made that decision before I did. So ego comes to play.
For sure.
And then on top of that, it's but I thought we were in this for the long haul. What do you mean you don't want this? What do you mean you're stepping out of it?
Till death do us part.
Right?
Yeah.
I remember for my personal story, I made that decision 3 times before I really, really left.
Yeah, me too.
It's not a one and done thing because we are emotional beings as women.
Yep.
So we need to have a signal after signal after signal to be okay, this is really not okay anymore. So that was no different for me. I know there are women out there and there are men out there who are I made a decision, I stood up the next day and I was out.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm so good you could.
Yeah. Really though? I don't know. I feel like if and I don't know, like obviously everybody's different, but I think too, it's like sometimes, and this was actually one of my questions, it's like, when is it, maybe are you not ready to get a divorce? Like, in my personal opinion, I feel like you need to do the work. You need to try. You need to uncover every stone before, I think, obviously, if there's like abuse, physical abuse, that this goes out the window. But, I think we do make that commitment to each other. And I think you don't just get to wake up one day and say, I'm done, because I don't think like it's really settled in, and maybe you haven't done the work, and you haven't, like people have bad years, bad months, like, so I think, yeah, I don't know if it's such a good thing to just wake up and be like, I'm done, peace.
Kudos to those who can.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've come across many different clients who were on the spectrum on both ends,
Yeah.
right? For me personally, I made that decision. I knew what was happening. And this was the thing is, you mentioned physical abuse.
Mm-hmm.
What about emotional abuse?
It's huge.
And you dismiss it.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't lend a hand on me. It's okay. This is
Yeah.
okay. Everyone goes through this.
Yeah.
And
He was
you
just in a bad
okay.
mood.
He's in a bad mood. I was in a bad mood.
He's stressed.
I evoke this.
Mm-hmm.
You start self-blaming yourself
Yeah.
for someone else's behavior.
Totally.
And in that, you forget, are you still being respected in your
Yeah.
marriage?
Yeah.
Are you still respecting the person in your marriage?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't look at that from that angle anymore because we are so hurt.
Yeah. But it's also, I think, this slow process, this slow burn, where, especially on the other side of my marriage, because, I had close friends and I didn't fully vocalize what was going on in my marriage. Even though I talked to them about everything, that was something I really kept to myself, because it's hard to show up at games night next Saturday if they really knew what was going on, because they wouldn't respect that person. And I didn't want to be like venting and then be good and then venting and be good. So when I actually started to vocalize some of the things that were happening in my marriage in those last, let's call it 5 years, they were shocked. And it was interesting as the stuff was coming out of my mouth, because I'd never like actually spoke the words. I was like, that's fucked up. Like, that is some crazy. And your bar starts to get lowered and lowered in terms of what you deserve, how you're being treated. And it's not overnight. It's slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Your boundaries get eroded. The self-respect gets eroded. And then you're just in this like, how the hell did I get here? How did
Oh
we
my
get
gosh.
here?
Absolutely. That whole idea of how did I accept this?
Uh-huh.
I am such a vocal person for other people, but what happened to me for myself?
Totally. Or I consider myself a smart person. How did I allow this to go on for
gosh.
so long?
Yes. So the reason that I gave myself eventually, I couldn't give myself in the moment. I gave that eventually because what happened for me was there was emotional abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. We're just going through a rough patch. We're just going through this. We're just going through that. I was okaying it. And the more I was okaying it, the more it started happening.
Totally.
And there was this one sentence that once I hear it, it's just always like my nervous system are always tightened up. It's like, you're stupid. You're stupid. And I know I'm a smart person.
Yeah.
And I'm doing all of the things outside.
Mm-hmm.
But inside of the home, I feel stupid.
Yeah.
Because I've been told I'm stupid.
Yeah.
And when I had my boys only, they must be 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And we're having arguments every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And I said at one point, I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't. I'm feeling so depleted. I'm not the mom I want to be. I'm not the person I want to be. I can't anymore.
Yeah.
And it was so detrimental to myself that I was ready to go into a shelter with my boys.
Yeah.
And I set everything up to go that night.
Mm-hmm.
And I was stopped. And when he came home, because that was the first time in my 9 years marriage that I told my parents what was really going on.
Interesting. This was after 9 years of marriage so far?
9 years of marriage.
And after how many years did you guys get divorced?
I'm talking about a point where I'm 9 years. Actually, I left when I was close to A shy of a month of 10 years of
Okay, so the
marriage.
first time you vocalized it was about a year until you actually ended up leaving later.
I vocalized to my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I vocalized to my sisters. My sisters knew what was going on, but I never told my parents because I was so afraid that they would disown me.
Yeah.
Because in my culture,
Yeah.
a woman saying that she wants to get divorced is a huge thing.
Yeah.
And it was not okay. So I had created this story and this narrative that when I say this, my dad is going to be like, no, you have to figure it out. You have to make it work. My mom is going to say the same. And they will be like, you don't have no house in this house anymore.
Yeah.
If
they
you
wouldn't
leave that
support you.
marriage, it's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Because truthfully, that happens a lot
It does.
in the South Asian community. Right?
It does.
Yeah.
Sadly so.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so blessed that my dad on the other side of the phone, literally worlds apart,
Yeah.
said, what do you need?
Yeah.
And that made me cry even harder
Yeah.
because I did not expect that
Yeah.
answer. So here I am, having created the whole scenario in my head, the worst case scenario, my fear that is level 100.
Yeah.
And here I have my dad in Europe saying to me, what do you need?
Yeah.
That doesn't match the story that I've been telling myself for years.
Yeah. This cage that you built around yourself and
Absolutely.
your circumstances. Yeah. How freeing.
So I knew when I moved to Canada from Holland, I actually was surprised because I said to my best friend's like, why are you moving? You got everything here. Like, this is my last chance to save my marriage.
Mm.
And as I vocalize that, like, just like you said,
Yeah.
when we vocalize something, we get shocked. Like, hold on, what did I just say?
Yeah.
Do I think that way?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to stop and assess. And I'm like, oh my God, I really do think that way.
Yeah.
And my boys were not even a year at that time.
Mm-hmm. And then you had your daughter?
My daughter is a whole different story.
Okay.
Because after I vocalized to my parents and I was ready to go to the shelter, his family stopped me. He said to me and promised the world,
Yeah.
"You're gonna do better. We're just going through a rough patch.
Yeah.
It's just a rough patch.
Yeah.
But you cannot do this to me anymore.
Mhm.
We are in it to let
Yeah.
death do its part.
Yeah.
We must figure this out together,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to stay."
Mm-hmm. So you stayed.
I stayed.
Yeah. And I think there's nothing wrong with believing what's coming out of your significant other's mouth and hoping for something better.
Well, here's the thing. We have always seen a glimpse of the other person
Mm-hmm.
when they are at that level of, yes, this is what I want in a man.
Yeah, they breadcrumb you.
And they show that,
Yeah.
then
Just
they
a little.
take it away.
Yeah.
Then they show it again.
They show enough to keep you around.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then when we see it's there, when we feel, it's not about them feeling, it's about we feeling
Yeah.
that they have potential to live up to my expectations.
Yeah.
As a woman, you stay.
Yeah. I had a conversation with my kids because this is the lesson that I have learned, and it's about paying attention to what people do and not what they say. Because there's a lot of lip service going around, and that's what keeps you in this fake, unreal, imaginary world of coulda, woulda, shouldas, maybes, and all of that. But you really do, just because someone is saying something, you really need to pay attention to what they're doing, because that's all that matters.
We do too.
Yeah. That's what I
Yes.
mean. That's the lesson that I learned in my 40s that I want to instill in them.
Absolutely.
To just in
100%.
life, not just in, marriages, but just in life,
Absolutely.
friendships and business
Absolutely.
relationships,
Everywhere.
Mhm.
Relationships go beyond the title we give it.
Yeah.
Even with me being a mom to my kids, if I
Mhm.
promise them something and I'm not delivering,
Yeah.
and I'm not even vocalizing that I'm not delivering because A, B, and C, I'm just putting it under the rug,
Yeah.
putting it under the rug. That's on me.
Yeah, totally.
It's not on them. So when you say that, I love that for your children to hear it because it becomes a vocal point where they
Mhm.
can vocalize for themselves, like, this is not okay, Mom. What did you do? You
Yeah.
said you're going to do this with me and you
Mhm.
didn't do this with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you're right. I didn't. I
Yeah.
need to prioritize this. Let's book it in.
Yeah. But you, as a good person, would say, you know what? I'm not showing up the way that I'm saying, so I'm going to change. But not everybody is like that.
Totally.
And so it's really just about like awareness so that they can truly see people and not be caught up in the.
But this is the beauty part, Sabrina. When we see something, we notice that this person is not saying,
Yeah. They're
doing
not
what
congruent, right? Yes.
they're not following through with what they said.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have given ourselves the permission to vocalize it.
Yeah.
Now it's sitting back and watching the show.
Mm-hmm. True.
Do they change? They change for a month. Okay, interesting. At the end of the day, it's us deciding.
How much we are willing to
How much?
tolerate. Yes.
How far do we go?
Yes.
How much do we accept? How much can we say it's okay? You know what?
Yeah.
Rough time, rough this. No,
Yeah.
it's not okay.
Totally. So what types of women do you coach, and what does that coaching relationship look like?
I want to complete the story because when I vocalized it and I
Yeah.
stayed,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, things are going to get better. And we had a better time for a few months.
Yeah.
And then I got pregnant with my daughter.
Oh, yes.
And my dad was like, what did you do? Well, technically, you know what I did.
Yeah.
But let's not talk about that. It wasn't planned, but it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it's now not about me punishing myself for why did it happen.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do about it? Because there was a point in time where the question was, not for me, for him.
Yeah.
Can we really keep it? I don't know. We can't. I don't
Yeah.
think we can.
Yeah.
And I said to him, by my own values, part of my language, if I have the guts to fuck you, I also have the guts to raise this child.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's my body,
Yeah.
and you can decide if you're ready or not for it, but this is going to come.
Yeah. This is happening. Yeah.
This is happening.
Yeah.
So was I disappointed with how he responded? Of
Yeah.
course I was.
Yeah.
Did it do something to my mental health? Of course it did.
Mm-hmm.
But that 9 months was detrimental to my mental health. So while in a period of time where someone has to go through the happiest time and
Yeah.
experience it, I was going through the roughest time for myself.
Yeah.
Even the day that we found out it was going to be a girl, which I really, really wanted.
Yes. After 2 boys.
After 2 boys. He went to celebrate with his company, but we never celebrated.
He celebrated the fact that it was a girl with his company?
Yeah. Yeah, there was a whole cake. There was a whole thing.
Were you invited?
No.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
So, and then when it occurred, then we had this huge argument where he came home at 8 p.m. completely drunk.
Yeah.
And here I am, 8.5 months pregnant.
Yeah.
The babies can pop out anytime.
Yeah.
And you're drunk at 8 p.m. You've, like, literally, like, the kids are upstairs. The boys are sleeping upstairs.
Yeah.
If I go into labor now,
Or Ubering.
first of all, we're Ubering. Second of all, I need to find out and call a colleague, call a friend to
Yeah.
take care of the kids because I can't count on you.
Yeah.
And it became an argument, and it did become physical at that time
Oh no. While you're pregnant too.
while I was pregnant. And he recognized and he stopped right away. And this is me okaying that behavior in that moment.
Yeah.
Oh, he's recognized it. He stopped it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was angry. I started hitting him
Yeah.
because I was like, how dare you?
Yeah.
The next day when I told my colleague, she's like, are you really going to go back? I'm like, yeah, I have no other choice.
Yeah. I'm 8 months pregnant. What the hell am I going to do?
Right?
Yeah.
And she was so concerned. That night, we had a baby shower that my colleagues and my friends had organized.
Mm-hmm.
After that, they sat me down. They're like, you're so good at faking, putting a smile on your face, pretending everything is okay.
Mm.
And you're so happy for your pregnancy and everything, which you are, but not everything is okay.
Interesting.
And what happened could have gone worse. That fact that he stopped, good on him, but he could have chosen the other way because he
Yeah.
was intoxicated.
Yeah.
You did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what's going to happen from the other end.
Yeah.
You can only control yourself. So are you going to be okay with something happening to you and your kids going into a home? I froze. I froze in that question. I cried my eyes out.
Yeah.
And I go, no, of course I'm not going to be okay. And then one of my friends like, okay, then we're going to go into my home. You're not going home. You're not picking up his phone.
Oh, geez.
You're going to stay with us. We're going to go into the police station. We're going to report this. We're going to make sure that you can get to go home, get the stuff for the boys and yourself while he's not around.
Yeah.
And then you do what you need to do and we'll figure it out. I stayed away for a week. And now I'm literally a week away from giving birth.
I'm getting anxious just hearing this story, just about like the potential reaction of your spouse at the time for you to take that step to say, you have done something wrong and I am now going to distance me and the boys from you. Like, did he, what?
He was very apologetic.
Oh, okay, that's good.
He was very like, it's on me. I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to stop that. Promises again.
Okay, there was acknowledgement in a way.
Or not a lot of promises again. And within a week, I came back because I'm like, I'm literally a week away of giving birth to my child. I can't stay with my friend's house when I'm giving birth and having 2 twin boys of 4.
Oh, gosh.
All around hanging in their house. Like, it's not okay.
No.
But it did give me the breathing space for those few days to really come back to me. It did give him the scare to be like, oh my God, what would happen to me when I have no family?
What you would hope would be the wake-up call, maybe.
You would hope. I love you said you would hope.
Yes.
You would hope. In that case, though, I came home and my mom and my sister flew over from Europe to be with me for a month to make sure that the baby and I were taken care of.
Out. That's nice.
And my mom was just like, I never wanted this for you. So to hear your own mother feel heartbroken and be like, this is not what I want for you.
In the sense that you're in an unhappy marriage.
In an unhappy marriage where he is not caring for me, where he is always busy with this and the other, doing his own thing. When he comes home, he needs to have that little glass of whiskey because that's what is normalized in the culture.
Yeah.
And it became a very awakening for me at that time again. And I'm saying again because I really want the listener to understand that, yes, we will have multiple times where we're going to go through these experiences again and again and again. But at the end of the day, you decide. My savior was I had already the year prior set up everything in motion through the city housing, through the charities, through all of those resources that we have in Canada, that I needed a house, that I needed to get out.
Yep.
So I got a call just a few days after my daughter was born. We have a house available for you. And at this time, I've already said no to 2 houses.
Okay.
So if you said the third one no, then you're going to go back on the list at the back of the list.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, let's go see. Of course, this was a perfect location near a park. The house was great. And I'm like, I can't say no. This is my sign from God.
Yeah.
Like, let you move out. My daughter was exactly a month. And you're not allowed to drive a car when you just have given birth for 6 months.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, when you have a C-section.
Oh, C-section. Okay, yeah.
Don't drive a car.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying to anyone to drive a car. Please don't. I did because I had to.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
I have no family around here. My family is in Europe. So I need to do what I need to do. I need to take care of these 3 babies of mine. And the reason I'm so emphasizing this story and sharing with all the struggles that I went through in that point is I was so disconnected from who Matina is.
Yeah.
I was living in these boxes. Daughter, wife, mother, sister, employee. That nowhere in there was Matina.
You lose yourself. I think that's partially an unhappy, unfulfilling marriage, but then also motherhood. You know, when you're in the weeds with the little kids, like you really do lose who you were and you become all of those labels. I totally agree.
You literally, the second that you give birth, doesn't matter if it's your first child, second, third, fourth, whatever, a piece of you is being reborn.
Mm.
So even though we perceive it as we're losing ourselves, we are relearning life through the eyes of our child.
Mm-hmm.
And they are our best mirrors.
Yeah.
They will call us on our bullshit,
True.
on our actions, on the way that we are showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a healthy relationship with them, they will honestly be like, but mom, you just said this.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Oh, yeah, I did.
But you also create that safe space for that type of dialogue.
Yes.
And I think too, it's communication, but it's also the energy that you give off and how you lead in the home, I think also affects how they behave. Their reactivity, their ability to apologize and take accountability. Like, I think all of those things are really come from there.
100%. And it's, kids don't learn by words, they learn by action.
Yeah.
So going to your question, like, how do I work with clients? It's literally like allowing them to vent their story
Mm-hmm.
because it's all mental.
Yeah.
It's all the way we think, the way we are acting.
Mm-hmm.
But the feeling, the emotion is oftentimes a bit further ahead in the pain,
Yeah.
in the sorrow, in that lack of, but what do I want? What do I like? Where do I go now from here?
Yeah.
And you don't know where you go. I was a whole 1.5 years after me leaving. It was all about being the best mother that I could be. And I came from this energy of, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to prove that I can do it all.
Yeah. Well, I think at least you're channeling it in a positive way. I mean, it could have gone totally the other way.
100%.
Yeah.
But it is still a very much mental and ego-driven action.
Mm-hmm.
So when I sat down and I reflected on, why do I still feel the void? Why am I still crying in the dark? Why am I still unfulfilled?
Yeah.
I'm safe. My kids are safe. We are peaceful. We are building this happy life. We're doing all of these activities. I have a great job. I have everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm unfulfilled. So my journey in helping my clients in this recovery component is literally tapping into that unfulfillment that we have inside of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because what we have in front of that unfulfillment is all of the debris of the emotions and the fog
Yeah.
of the experiences that we've gone through.
Yeah. And two, I think especially when you spend a lot of time with somebody in a marriage or a number of years, sometimes half of your life, your entire adult life, you're sort of bound to them energetically. So it's like, stop focusing on what they're doing, cut that energetic cord, and really just start to, separate the lives.
I love to use that energy. Energy is everything.
Yeah.
And we do have these cords.
Yeah.
And our children have these cords.
Yeah.
And this is the second part that's so important. And I emphasize this a lot with my clients is like, your children were still born out of love.
Mm-hmm.
You might not feel the love now. I don't
love
feel
is gone.
I understand.
Yeah.
But they were born in that moment out of love.
Totally. Yeah.
So it's a piece of you and a piece of him. Now, you might not appreciate where he is at in life, what he is doing, how he's responding. But there's a piece of you that loved him, and that piece continues in your son or daughter.
Yeah.
So please, can we refrain from making the other person the bad guy or the bad woman and really honor that this is your dad, this is your mom. Yes, we are living separately. We're building a separate life, but we both will love you to the degree that we can. And the degree that we can love our children is the degree we can love ourselves.
Totally.
So if we cap loving ourselves with, I can only love myself this way, then you're capping how much you can love your child too.
Interesting. Yeah, that's very true. I think it's also about, I came from divorced parents, so I feel like I do have a different perspective than someone who hasn't, because I've been the child of the divorce. And so putting the kids first and always never making them feel like they had to choose, or doing my very best to not badmouth the other person despite the insanity that they're doing was sort of very important to me. Unfortunately, it takes two people for that to really be an experience for the kids.
Yeah.
But again, to your point, like, you can only control your own actions and your own feelings. You can't control the other side.
I get it, Sabrina. I am right now, I had for the longest time, I made myself responsible for how their relationship with their dad was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And just a year ago, I was like, why am I doing that to myself?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I pressuring my children
Mm-hmm.
to see him when they don't want to?
But they're not over 18 yet, I guess.
They're not over 18 yet.
I'm kind of in the same situation, so.
And in that regards, it becomes like having the ability to communicate with them.
Mm-hmm.
We are at this point in my life right now where I said to my kids, I will stop pressuring you.
Yeah.
You don't want to see him and you have your reasons for it. We will talk about it.
Yeah.
If he chooses to come over and talk to you in a human way,
Yeah.
we will allow that conversation to happen. But as soon as there's disrespect, there is demand because I'm the dad.
Yeah, you must.
That energy is not acceptable. That energy goes out the window.
Yeah.
Because, yes, by birth, you're the dad. But there's a responsibility that comes with the dad. And there's a responsibility that comes with the mom.
Yeah.
If we are not owning that responsibility, then we cannot demand our children to see us in a specific light and give us the respect because we are the parent.
It's very old school, right? Like,
yes.
It's very like, I'm the dad, you do what I say, you don't really, you know what I mean? So it is a shift, probably depending on your age, from maybe the way you were parented. So not that I'm making excuses for it, I can just see where it came from, but kids these days, that's not going to fly.
Oh, no.
And also, I don't want that to fly. I want them to grow up feeling like they deserve respect. And, you know, yes, you're still the child and I'm the parent. So you do have to listen to what I say, but it's a different dynamic, I think, than before.
Totally.
Just because I'm the dad, you have to do this. Or
and
the mom.
they ask questions. I don't know about you, but I never used to ask questions. My questions were silenced. You listen and you do as I say.
Yeah.
And now the way that I'm raising my kids and the way that I have open communication with them, they will ask questions. And sometimes I don't know the answer to that question.
Or you don't like it.
True that too. True that too. And then it's really about, okay, so how does that make you feel? Let's talk about what you're saying, but let's step into that emotion part of it. Because underneath that dialogue is an emotion.
Totally.
And without going into too much detail, right now, one of my sons said, like, I don't want to see him because he's never around for me. My daughter's conversations are literally like, I love you. How are you? I'm good. Okay. And that's it.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk because they don't know what to say because they don't have built that relationship with them. And it's now almost 10 years that we are separated. So if you don't build a relationship and you're going by these assumptions of, oh, once the kids are older, they're not going to want to be around me. Okay, that's an assumption you're making.
Yeah.
But you're excusing yourself for making the effort because you have an assumption.
Yeah.
And I can have that conversation with him. I have to really be careful how I have the conversation with my kid.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to tell them, like, no, you should not see your dad. He doesn't do any effort. No, it's not fair to them.
I heard something at one point, and this just might because it just made me feel better. But, you know, my kids have been through a lot over the last few years, and even the last few years of the marriage. Things were pretty bad. And someone had said to me, they're like, I don't know what you believe, but I believe that we choose the lessons that we're supposed to learn before we come down here. So your kids you guys chose these circumstances, and these are the lessons that they're meant to learn. And it almost like let me off the hook for like, I was like, I don't want to fuck them up. And like, I don't, you know, and again, I can't control everything. And so that just sort of, and truthfully, like, I think some of the difficult things I went through in my childhood really honed my superpowers, you know, like it really did make me, more empathetic, and I can really read a room very quickly. And, and that came from dealing with difficult things in my childhood. So I try to, take the 36,000 view of their life and my life. And it really does take the pressure off of these small little moments
Yeah.
and making it feel like it's catastrophic,
Yeah.
because it's going to hopefully help them in their adult lives.
I agree with that, because I do believe our kids choose us just as much as we chose our parents and the circumstances we grew up in. Now, here's the thing. They are mirrors to us. How we deal with those mirrors, how we openly communicate with the mirrors, or we actually pretend they're not there.
Yeah.
That's a choice. We get to experience life. But they will always reflect back to us what we don't want to always see.
Mm-hmm.
So when we allow ourselves to see that part, they are as much a teacher for us than we are for them.
Mm-hmm.
And now it becomes this healthy dynamic where you're not creating codependency. Because what I could have done very easily, Sabrina, is I could have been that perfect mom and put myself as a dependent mom upon my kids.
What do you mean?
Well, I gave birth to you.
Oh.
I raised you. You're now this perfect child who has this perfect education and perfect job and everything. That's because of my sacrifice. So now I am shaming you for the choices I made.
Yeah, totally. Do you know what I gave up for you?
Right?
Yeah.
But we do this because we want that sense of belonging so bad. But now the kids are getting older. They want to hang out with their friends. They want to travel the world. They want to maybe even move out of the city that you live in.
Yeah.
And we feel like, but you can't. I gave up everything for you, so you should also give up things for me.
Yeah.
That's technically what we're saying. We don't want that,
Yeah.
but that's what we're saying.
Yeah, deep down, like that's kind of the root.
That's the hope.
Sure. Yeah.
And I could have easily gone that route.
Mm-hmm.
My first 1.5 years separated, that was the energy that I was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But quickly I realized I'm losing myself even again.
Yeah.
Because having to discover who I am is not me going to a spa day, having my hair done, going for a vacation. It is me sitting in that discomfort of what am I feeling today.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we didn't talk about this, like you're going through it right now. What is the one emotion you would say is highly present for you?
Well, it's been 3 years, but I'm still sort of dealing with co-parenting. That was also one of my questions. For me, anxiety comes up a lot, and it's really just around, I left without income. And so that was very challenging, and there's been no child support for 3 years, and that's been a whole thing. So really for me, it's been about rebuilding myself and taking care of the kids on my own. And so there's just a lot of anxiety around that, like security and
that's a
making
real
enough
thing
money.
for women.
Mm-hmm. That's what kept me there a long time, and I think that's what keeps a lot of women there. When I realized that I wanted to be out of my marriage, I was working for my ex-husband and I wasn't claiming any income. So it was obviously very challenging. And I think if I did have my own career, but after having 2 kids very close together, I sort of gave some of that stuff up.
Yeah.
But I think if I was working and standing on my own 2 feet and all of that, it would also be a very different experience. So that also leads me into another question about, for women who are considering leaving, or men, what are some of the things that they should be doing before they have that I want out conversation? Like, how can they be smart about their divorce?
Some coaches out there would say save up, save a year, give yourself a year, build your income, build on, and be strategic about it. And whenever we're talking about emotions, not many people can be strategic. And for those who can, good on you. Try that path. For those who can't, really sit and assess what resources are available to you out there, because there are tons. How can you tap into those resources? What conversations can you start? What rooms can you enter? because there are so many groups out there that will talk about divorce. There are so many men and women out there who would willingly support you in that conversation and hold space for you. And there are resources out there that will be like, okay, these are the 3 things you need to have in place.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have an income, okay, city housing can provide you with housing. This is the application. This is how long it takes.
Yeah.
This is what the rent would look like.
Mm-hmm.
How many kids do you have? So do you need this amount of people rooms? Like it will help you and guide you in that.
Yeah.
Now, in my case, I think I spoke with 3 charities, 3 resources, different resources.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was dismissive.
Mm-hmm.
We have so many people. The need is higher than the availability for them to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Oftentimes people stop there. No, go to the next one. They can't help you? Now you know. Next person. Next person. It was a 3rd person that I spoke to that was like, I can create this, this, and this for you. This is what we're going to put in place. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Perfect. Now I have clarity as to what I need to do on the back end.
Yeah.
If my rent, instead of being 2,000 something, and based on my income and based on the amount of children and everything I have, is now going to be 600, I can now think about what can I do to make sure I can pay that.
Yeah. Yeah, just having a goal and a plan in place.
Yes.
And work towards that before you have the
at least get the resources and the right people on your corner,
mm-hmm.
so that you're not only thinking with your chaotic mind
yeah.
and the emotions that go with that, and you have people around you rooting for you, that are thinking clear for you, that can guide you and support you in that.
Yeah.
So that is very key. And there are support for men as well as women out there.
Yeah.
Because I have had men reach out of like, you only talk about women. Men go through this too. Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yet it's different for you than it's for a woman, first of all. Secondly, the men that oftentimes go through it, they have more feminine energy.
Yeah.
And they're not that masculine, demanding type of personality.
Yeah, probably their spouse has more of the masculine
Exactly.
energy. Yeah.
Exactly. So in that case, there are resources out there for you too that you can tap into, that you can have a conversation around, like what's the best for my children? What can I do as a dad here in this way and that way? And really allow yourself to be led by the end goal, not by the emotion. Because at the beginning, we have so much anger, frustration, sometimes even hatred and resentment towards the other person, that we cannot make decisions based on the end point we want.
Yeah. I think my key ones were sadness and guilt.
Oh, yes.
Thinking about leaving, and I myself said I wanted to leave a number of times before I meant it and ended it and took the steps and all of that. But, the guilt of, putting my kids through potentially the same thing that I went through, or just the sadness around the future that you thought you were going to have. It was devastating. Even though I was the one to say that I wanted to leave, it was still very, very
of course
sad. Yeah. And I think that's actually something my ex never really understood. I think he thought and thinks that because I was the one that ended it, that it was,
easy peasy. Let's go.
But it was, a long process, and it was actually very devastating. So for those women who are thinking about, or men who are thinking about having that conversation, do you have any tips or advice for people, how to have the conversation, what to say, what not to say, where to have it? What's your advice to people about that?
Anyone who is thinking about ending their marriage and actually wants to follow through with it, for them it's very important to think about, what is the end game here? What of this, all of this resources can I tap into? But also, if you have a home together, if you have a business together, if you have multiple homes all over the world, what am I really wanting to fight for, and what can I let go of? Without even having that conversation with the other person. Really sit with yourself as to, what am I going to fight for? I personally said, I want child support and I want full custody. Everything and anything else, you can do whatever the hell you want with it. I don't want nothing else.
So almost like, what do I want? Like, write a list. What do I want and why? I think that might also give you some insight as to, if you write something down that you want, vocalizing and thinking about why you want it might bring you clarity to be like, okay, maybe it's not that important to me.
Well, I love that you said that because so often we're like, I can't give up my house. You know how much equity we have on it? Okay. So are you willing then to fight for the home and lose potential 2-3 years of your life, sometimes even longer? You are in it for 3 years already. It's not done yet. So it really talks about like, how long do we want to pull it out, and is it really worth the amount you get at the end?
Well, take your equity, subtract legal fees, which are going to be triple what you think they're going to be.
Subtract also your therapy costs, your mental health, and all of the other things that you're going to be.
Yeah, peace of mind.
Absolutely.
What kind of dollar amount you want to put on that?
Oh, there's no dollar amount.
Yeah.
Like peace of mind not only for yourself, but also for your children.
Yeah, totally.
Like in that moment, you just said earlier, like you didn't get child support for 3 years. I didn't get for 2. And it was all because the ego of, I'm going to make you come back to me.
I think it was, I'm going to make you suffer and prove a point.
But here's the thing. When we want the other person to suffer because we are hurt, we are indirectly but directly making our children suffer.
Of course. I see that. I don't think it's seen the other way around.
And it's not seen the other way around because oftentimes they choose very smartly to not be around the kids every day so they don't have to see it every day. And we all have this capacity bucket, if you will.
Okay.
And if this capacity bucket is at the level 100 pain, I will have no capacity to give you empathy, to show up with you, to be like, okay, let's really sit down and have this conversation and create a plan now. So this is important to create this list for yourself first. What do you want? Why do you want it? Because when I looked at my reasoning, I wanted sole custody because I knew he would drink, and I did not feel my kids would be safe in that scenario. So safety was first in my mind.
Yeah.
It was never about taking the kids away from their dad. It was always about safety for me.
Yeah.
The second thing I wrote down is child support, because I believe you have a responsibility as a parent towards your child, not towards me. I can take care of myself. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I don't need your money to take care of me.
Yeah.
And not to say that anyone else who's taking spousal support, you're doing wrong. No, you're not. Good on you. Believe what you want to believe.
Yeah.
That was my belief. And those were the 2 only things that were on my list. Even though my lawyer said, Matina, you live in Canada. You will never get sole custody. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get it. I'm telling you, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
I don't need to know the how. I know why I want it, and I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening is because he wanted me to come back and he wanted me to suffer, as you said, he did not respond to lawyers. He did not go to the court. While I was being this good girl and making sure I was showing up at every appointment and doing all the things that I was meant to do.
Yeah.
So the judge we got was like, oh, this person's not showing up. This mom is showing up. Okay, perfect. This is what you get. Done.
Yeah.
And he got the end paper and I got sole custody.
Yeah.
So don't allow the lawyers or external people tell you that you're not going to get it.
Or even the opposite of that. Fight for this, you deserve that, you deserve this, right?
Oh, yes.
Right? People, oh, you can get that, you can get this. I think that's why it's like super important to have that list and really focus on what actually matters to you. So that you don't get swayed into further litigation if you're like, you know what, actually I don't give a shit about that.
And you have to definitely be your own advocate for that. Our lawyers are not our therapists. And when we go through that initial conversation, we're crying at a lawyer's office. And they have no interest in your emotional turmoil. They really don't. They don't even know how to.
They also see it every single day, right? So I think they get sort of desensitized.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
And they are supposed to be the straight man, right? Like you wouldn't want, in my case anyway, I wouldn't want somebody who is overly emotional as a lawyer.
No, but you don't want the lawyer to be also like you said, like, oh, but you can get this, but you can get this, but you can get, because at the other end, you're the one losing sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one rethinking and re-strategizing in your head every single day till that final paper is signed.
Yeah.
For me, signing that divorce paper was less painful than me stepping out of the house for the first time with all of my stuff in my hand.
Totally. Yeah. Because mentally it's done already. The signing of the paper is really just...
It's just a formality now.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you've made that list for yourself, you decided why, how does somebody have the conversation with respect and empathy with their significant other?
By emphasizing how you feel and not assuming how the other person feels.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of I statements instead of
I
you
feel
statements.
this.
Yeah.
When we went through that experience, this was my takeaway.
Mm-hmm.
This is how it made me feel.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other person can argue what happened
Mm-hmm.
and provide you a different perspective,
Totally.
but they cannot argue how you feel.
Correct. And it's typically not about one thing that happened, right? You're not getting divorced over one thing. And if you are, you shouldn't be getting divorced, I think. Well, depends what it is, I guess. But
And this is the beauty part of the work that I've been doing, where I got to recognize it doesn't matter what background you are from.
mm-hmm.
I've worked with South Asian people, I've worked with Black people, I've worked with white people. It doesn't matter. We all are in this scenario of, but my religion said this, but my parents said this.
Mm-hmm.
But I told myself I would never divorce because my parents were divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm miserable because I'm having experiences that I'm not okay with.
Yeah.
But because I vowed that to myself, that vow becomes higher than what I'm experiencing right now.
Yeah.
But when I say and give myself permission to allow that vow to be like, hold on,
Yeah.
this vow is not higher than my peace of mind.
Yeah.
Then you are vocalizing, but then you're coming from this energy with this other person, like, okay, this is all the things that I've felt in the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I have loved you, I don't feel that love right now.
Mm-hmm. Anymore.
Or anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And be honest in that regard. Now, the other person, especially when they're hurting for the first time, especially when they feel that they've been blindsided,
Yeah.
will be like, what do you mean? Oh, we can work through this.
Mm-hmm.
We can make this all better.
Mm-hmm.
But because you've come to this decision already in your mind,
Mm-hmm.
even working through things, sadly, sometimes only lasts a few months.
The promises and
The
everything
promises
like
and
that.
everything.
Yeah.
Now, the best thing to do is not even have this conversation when you have decided I'm going to get a divorce. Have these conversations throughout.
Yeah.
This is important for me in this relationship, in this companionship that I'm building with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know we're growing as people. We are changing all the time.
Yeah.
And we have vowed to each other that we're going to love each other in this change. So right now, what I need from you is this, this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
How can we make that happen?
Yeah.
That would be the healthier conversation to have.
But let's assume you've had those conversations and you really are, ready. I would think too, just playing off of what you said there, something came to me where it was like, you've already decided. So once you've already decided, that other person sort of needs time to catch up. I think nobody wants to be in a miserable marriage. And if you're in a miserable marriage, chances are the other person is too. And so hopefully, that person will catch up and eventually they'll see that it's for the best or whatever. And of course, every scenario is different. Every person is different.
Ignorance is bliss, though.
Mm-hmm.
Denial is a very powerful thing.
True.
So when the other person who is hearing it for the first time, who hasn't decided this consciously yet,
Mm-hmm.
they have denied themselves over and over and over again the feelings that they felt. And sadly, what ends up happening is one of the person, the man or the female, start resenting the other person.
Mm-hmm.
How can you be okay with your emotion and voice your emotion when I haven't done that?
Interesting.
I haven't given myself the permission to vocalize how I feel, but now you are vocalizing how you feel.
Yeah.
So where does that leave me now?
Yeah.
So a lot of hurt that we see and the fights and the arguments that happen becomes this power game I haven't given myself permission. How can you?
Yeah. Or who are you to be unhappy in this marriage? I
I've
think
done
that's,
everything for you. What do
yeah.
you mean you're unhappy?
Yeah, exactly. You're not allowed to be unhappy.
So there's one exercise, Sabrina, I would love to do with you
Yes,
if you're
please.
open.
Yes, please.
You mentioned anxiety is very present for you right now, right?
Yeah.
So there's this exercise I do with my clients where we literally drop into our bodies and in this present moment.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with what happened or transpired, but with this present moment. Are you okay with me guiding you through that?
Yes, please.
Awesome. So I invite you to close your eyes.
Okay.
Let's take 3 deep breaths. When you breathe in, you bring in love, light, and hope. And when you breathe out, you're releasing everything and anything that doesn't serve you right now. Beautiful. Take another deep breath in. And let it all out. And one more time, go deeper. Breathe in. And breathe out. Beautiful. Bring yourself in this present moment into your body. We're going to ask your body, where is anxiety living in my body right now? And put your hands where it is living right now. Beautiful. As you identify the spot, feel the anxiety in this spot. Give it permission to give you the gift of the wisdom it holds. There is a message that wants to come through this anxiety right now for you. So take deep breaths and focus on your heart area because that's where anxiety lives for you. With every breath in, we're bringing in more awareness, more insights into the heart center, into the awareness of the anxiety. And with every breath out, we're releasing the resistance that is not allowing you to hear the message right now. And it would be really good if you breathe out through your mouth and really sigh it out and letting go of that resistance and bring in more clarity. And when you focus on this anxiety right now, let's ask it, what wisdom are you bringing for me today? And say what comes up right away.
It's making me emotional.
That's perfect.
That I have what it takes to do what I need to do.
Beautiful. So let's go back into this. The answer that you just received, that you have everything you need, is inside of you. You can do this. You're a beautiful, strong woman. And this anxiety's message has served you. You've received the message. Now we're going to release it. With every breath in, you bring in the power to release. And with every breath out, we're going to release it. Release. Feel your body responding to this release as you take deep breaths in and out, in and out, in and out. Feel the anxiety leave your body right now. You received the message. It is complete. And it's okay to be emotional. Emotions just are things that want to move through you
Yeah.
and release.
I do feel better.
So this is the
Thank
energy
you.
work that I incorporate with my clients
Yeah.
because our body keeps a score.
I felt the resistance. Like when you said let the message come through, that we're blocking the message, I felt it. Like my body's like, nope, 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 nope. Like,
Because what have we done? We have learned to suppress our emotions so much,
yeah,
but by the suppression, it gets stuck in our bodies.
it really does. And I feel it. I couldn't put my hands on all the places that I felt the anxiety, but I get it in my chest. I also get it in my back and my shoulders. I get it the back of my head. Like all of it sort of just tightens up. And I stuff a lot.
And especially as strong women, we find we must.
Yeah.
Because we make it through the day. We have to put on a smile. We have to perform.
Yeah. Well, you actually do have to perform.
We do.
You have I got bills to pay and all the things. And it's funny you say I have my kids full time and they're doing every other weekend at their dad's. And sometimes literally nothing will happen. I'll drop them at school on the switch day And so it's the first time, like, and then I'm pulling away from the school. Nothing happened that morning, nothing. And I just start bawling.
Yeah.
And it's like my body just finally knows that I was like keeping it together like for so long. And then it's just like this release, like it just needs to come out, you know?
It would be serving your body better if you can give yourself, let's say, 30 minutes just before bed to do that. The same exercise you can do on your own.
Yeah.
It's
I
that
will.
intention, and it's that decision that with your breath out, you are letting go of resistance. With the breath out, you're letting go of that emotion after you've received the message. Because here's the thing, our emotions are there to bring us messages.
Interesting, yeah.
When it's too heavy, they're going to make sure you understand it's too heavy. So let's stop, assess, receive the message, and let go.
So I guess you could do that same exercise for anger, let's say.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Like I feel like a lot when you get stuck in the anger phase.
Yes.
I could see that being very helpful too. Like, what is it trying to tell me? And then once you receive the message, like letting the anger go.
Yes.
And like, I love the way you said it's done now.
Yeah.
You know, like it's complete. Thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
Before we started rolling, you sort of talked about some of the things that are the biggest obstacles for people. And it was really about tapping into emotion. So what do you find sort of gets in the way of, because I feel like, so for me, everyone, women, some women I know, like, and men, they want to have this amicable divorce. And, you know, I know a lot of my friends were like, Sabrina, that is a pipe dream. Like, that's not realistic and all of that. And I was like, no, like, that's what I want. That's what I'm capable of doing that. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out for me.
Yeah.
But for people who are like, I want to do divorce differently. I want to do this conscious uncoupling. You know, what are some of the things that they can be doing to contribute to having a positive, respectful divorce?
Just like you, there will be a lot of voices externally from family, from friends. They're well meant. They love you, they care for you, but in their mind, they're doing you a favor by showing you the reality of things. In that regard, just like they were not in your marriage, they cannot be in that decision of splitting the marriage either.
Yeah.
So as you were asking the question, the one exercise that's coming up is doing the Ho'oponopono meditation for the other person. So what is the Ho'oponopono? It's literally 4 sentences. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you.
And you're doing that for the other person? So what does that
you're
look
literally envisioning the other person in front of you. You're saying, I'm sorry to the person. Saying thank you to the person. Please forgive me. I love you. I could say all 3, but whenever I said I love you, I was like, I don't love him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I have learned is that exercise is not talking about this romantic love. It's talking about the essence, the vibration of love.
Human to human.
Human to human.
Yeah.
And from as a human perspective, I do love you. Not as my man, but as a human, I absolutely do. So seeing that person not as your partner anymore, but doing the Ho'oponopono meditation for the other person. So you're literally envisioning this person. My intention for this meditation for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you're doing, is to receive these words as a blessing. That's all I'm doing right now. But what you're actually doing is you're changing your own energy about this person. You're detaching yourself from the relationship and seeing it as a human. And when both people do this for one another, they will create the clarity and the space to come to a conclusion and a decision that is the best for ending their marriage.
And the best for everyone involved.
And the best for everyone involved. But now you're not being led by the relationship that's ending, the role that's ending, the grief that is ending.
Self-righteousness, all of it.
The friends who feel a certain way, the family who feels a certain way, the children who feel a certain way.
Yeah.
You're literally being led by human to human connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you can do that, good on you. That is the best way of uncoupling yourself.
Cultivating an energy of
Oh, yes.
success and
Yes.
conscious uncoupling.
But just like I said, my lawyer was very much to me like, oh, forget it. You will never get sole custody. It was my firm belief that made that possible.
Mm-hmm.
Did I know he was not going to show up with his lawyers? No, I didn't know that. I just had the belief that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
Similar to yours, you had a belief that I want this
Mm-hmm.
in the best way possible. But when we don't have the right resources in our bank, then we
Mm-hmm.
cannot tap into how do I create that.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Right now, there are so many couples out there who are in the process and who are fighting about a home.
Yeah. I'm dealing with that right now.
Right?
Yeah. There's a couple, they're getting divorced. They want to sell the matrimonial home. They have income properties, and one person says one thing to me, the other person says something conflicting. I try to get us on a group chat. Lots of people don't want to do that. And they, just creating, and in the end, I was like, guys, all of these things that you're talking about have nothing to do with the sale of this home. So you need to figure all of that out, and you let me know when you are ready to list the home. Because in the end, they both have to sign paperwork, right? So it's like I can't navigate all of
But you're
that
not the
for you.
lawyer. You're the
No.
realtor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the lawyer will say other conflicting things. So here's the thing: what often happens is when we don't have the resources in our toolbox,
Yeah.
and we are going to a lawyer, we're getting ourselves a therapist. A therapist will only go a certain way based on the questions you're asking.
Mm.
A lawyer will only go based on the law.
Mm-hmm.
But who are you speaking to when it comes to your day-to-day emotion? You're speaking to your parents, you're speaking to your siblings, you're speaking to your friends,
Mm-hmm.
you're speaking to your colleagues.
Yeah.
And all of them have an opinion.
Yeah.
And all of them feel a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And you're taking in all of these emotions. So not only are you carrying your own now anymore, you're also carrying all of the emotions of everyone else.
And I think too, like I used to be someone who would ask everyone's opinion about something, but then when you do that, you never get an opportunity to sit and figure out how you actually feel yourself and tap into your own intuition.
Yes.
So I definitely stopped doing that. I also, everyone was concerned about me. My divorce was very toxic and contentious, and everyone sort of wants updates, or people are asking how you're doing and they want to know what's going on. So I found myself repeating stories, and it's like I'm dealing with it actually, and then I'm reliving it over and over again through these conversations. So I kind of stopped doing that too, because it never gave me a break.
This is a key thing though.
Mm-hmm.
When one thing, we have one experience,
Yeah.
but because we are repeating it 20 times,
Mm-hmm.
our brain is like, oh, that already happened 100 times to us.
Yeah.
So now we must protect ourselves in the next relationship with this, in the next conflict with this,
Mm-hmm.
in the next experience with this.
Yeah.
So you keep building these walls.
Yeah.
When you have all of these energetic walls around you, you're not allowing yourself to be yourself.
Do you find that's what that happens? Thankfully, I'm in like an incredible relationship now. But for, do you find that people are tainted after divorce in their next relationship? Like, what advice do you have for people to be able to actually grow from their divorce versus be like bitter?
From what I can, your energy telling me is like you're very content with yourself.
Yeah, I am.
Not many women are.
Oh, okay.
Not many women can be like, okay, I really feel good about myself.
Mhm.
I really feel good about what I've accomplished,
Mm-hmm.
the person I am, the way that I show up. And what ends up happening is they start seeking relationships. And this is why dating is becoming so interesting nowadays, is where you get situationships. But this person was the best person that could have happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
No. He was filling a void that you didn't give yourself the ability to tap into yourself for,
Mm-hmm.
but you wanted that validation from an external party.
Yeah.
So as soon as the external party starts prioritizing something else, you feel a certain way. And you act a certain way to get that attention back.
Yeah.
And then you regret the actions, but that was not really me. Why did I do that? Well, there's a part of you that wants to be heard,
Yeah.
felt, seen right now. but you're not giving yourself the space to do that for you.
Yeah. Like you have to enter into the relationship whole.
Oh, I don't think there's any such thing for any person to be whole.
Mm-hmm.
We are whole as much as we can be whole in this moment.
Yeah.
I embody so much more of Matina than I did 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But have I completely made it in all areas of life? No.
No.
I'm always going to evolve. I'm always going to grow. I'm always going to
always be evolving, 100%. Yeah.
And you also have to give yourself permission to do that.
Yeah.
So having this high standard of, so I need to be completely healed.
Yeah.
Is not the way to go either.
Totally. Yeah.
And
giving yourself grace for sure.
Again, this is the spectrum, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one spectrum where you're jumping into the next relationship you can get. And the other spectrum where you feel that you have to be completely healed to get into a relationship.
Yeah.
Where is the happy middle here?
Yeah.
Where can you honor yourself enough? Be in your own bubble, be in your own right. And then still allow experiences to happen.
Yeah.
Dating for me was non-existing because I
by
never...
choice or?
At choice first.
Yeah.
But also by the way I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
The way that I was raised is I was never allowed. And then when my husband came around, it was like, oh my God, he loves me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting attention from a guy.
Yeah.
I'm being seen.
He
Yay.
picked me.
He picked me. Yes.
Yeah.
So I was coming and starting my relationship from that energy.
Yeah.
Which is wrong. Which is very wrong.
Well, in hindsight, it kind of sets you up for they're the prize, not the other way around.
100%.
Right? Yeah.
So when I chose not to date after my marriage because I needed to heal.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to be the best version of myself. And I did that for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I feel I've healed enough that
Yeah.
I can step into a relationship now.
Yeah.
But I was still unhealed in the parts when it came to dating because
Yeah.
I never knew
But
what
you
that
don't
looked
know
like.
you don't know anything else, and it's gonna surface in little bubbles. And you're like, oh, that's interesting that's coming up. I found that as well, and I'm thankfully with somebody who's very open, and we talk about it, and like, or I would say things. Sometimes he doesn't even know something happened for me, but when something would happen and it would trigger me, I would take a step back and really process and be like, okay, that's very interesting. I wonder where that's coming up, or you know what I mean? So it's been very interesting. So you're right. Never completely healed, and being in another relationship, definitely.
Or you have to have these experiences to be like, I
Yeah.
like this, I don't like that.
Yeah.
This is a yes, that's a no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wanted that? I didn't think I could give
Yeah.
myself permission to want that.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted that. That's okay.
Yeah. Or this is a trigger for me, or this activates me, and why? And okay, that's because of okay. And then just, figuring. It's very interesting.
What I recently realized for myself is like, I always came from this fixer energy.
Yeah.
Because when I was growing up, anything was a problem, Matina can solve it.
Mm-hmm.
Matina knows the way.
Mm-hmm.
Matina, how do we do this? So I always came from this fixer energy.
Yeah.
So whenever there was a challenge or a problem with my partner, I was like, I know how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
We can do this, this, and this, and we can play it that way and play it this way.
Help me solve your problems.
Help me solve your problems and make me feel good about you giving me permission to help you.
Yeah.
And then feel bad because you are not acknowledging me for it.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I recognized, like, God damn, I'm causing this. No. I'm not calling it any relationship
Yeah.
where I have to be the fixer.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the fixer.
No.
I want to come to this companionship where we're coming together, growing together.
Mm-hmm.
You learn from me as much as I learn from you.
Totally. Yeah. That's growth.
That is growth.
Totally. I love that. Okay, so just to wrap things up here, what if let's picture the person watching. They're maybe haven't pulled the trigger yet, or they're going through a divorce. Like, what is the best piece of advice you can give to them to come out on the other side and get out of their own way? Or what do you think most people should know, need to know?
The best advice I can give you in this moment is to recognize that you have 4 bodies. You have your physical body that requires your attention. And maybe you have not acknowledged yourself physically for a very long time. You've been judgmental to yourself in the way that you look, in the way that you act. So what can you do to love your body today? If that means drinking more water, then that's the answer. Second thing is your mental body. Your mental body is exhausted. It has heard all the scenarios, all the excuses, all the pains, all the hurts. How can you give yourself quality questions that will bring you and make you question what else is possible for me right now? The third body is your emotional body. What are the top 3, if not top 5 emotions that you live in every single day? Where in your body are they hiding? And do the exercise I just did with Sabrina. And then the fourth one is your spiritual body. And in time, that one is going to become more and more important. As much as you give time yourself, you're going to evoke that part of you even more. But with your spiritual body is what can you honor and how can you pray over yourself today? We pray for others as women. We give to others as women. But what can you do and pray over for yourself today? And allow God, source, whatever you believe in, to see you, love you, and honor you today.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For the viewers and listeners, they want to connect with you. I noticed you have some freebies on your website too. So where can they find you and what kind of resources do you have there?
So you can find me on matinasingh.com. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook. It's Singh Matina on Instagram and Coach Matina on Facebook. On TikTok, you can find me as well. Send me a DM if you have any questions. I am very approachable, very ready to help and talk through things. The resources that are out there are free guides right now. But the one thing that I'm excited for and that I'm really working on right now is to creating these emotional pep talks, if you will.
Ooh.
So, for example, if you feel anxiety, you turn on the audio of the anxiety pep talk.
Yeah.
And it will give you quality questions to ask. It will ask you to feel it. It will ask you to receive the message from it.
Mm-hmm.
And it will ask you to release it in one. With meditations, they are great. But oftentimes what I've heard from my clients is like, I feel great for the moment, but then I have to go back to my reality.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel good anymore.
Yeah.
So meditations are great for when you have the capacity to give yourself the stillness, the awareness of your thoughts, and then rewire your thoughts in the way that you want.
Nice.
The pep talk is great for giving yourself the quality questions so your mental body can work with you and find other scenarios and other way of looking at the scenarios so that you identify it in your body, you make a choice to release it, and you release it.
Yeah. Well, I found that very helpful. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It was lovely.